everybody. Hope you're having a very fantastic day. It's Rental Robert with the Hustle Nation, and we got Money Morning for you. Got a great topic coming up there. People rarely discuss, so take a look at it. Could save you thousands or could make you millions. You just never know about that and everything. It's been a pretty decent week. Some really long, been profitable, been productive, and we have found who's got our money. So I want to help you. I want you to be financially independent. I want you to wake up every day and say, man, what do I want to do, instead of, I'd like to do that, but I can't afford it. Yeah, I'd like to help them. I can't afford it. Yeah, I'd like to send my kids to college, but I can't afford it. So let's make some changes. Let's do some things and enjoy it. Being broke is hard. Being rich is hard. You pick your hard. That's what I'm talking about. So stay tuned. Got a great message coming at you. Okay, what we're going to talk about today is having to do, should I rent or should I own a house? Well, let's take a look. Grab my trusty black marker right here. We got a whiteboard. Okay. Things that you should ask yourself. Do you plan on moving anytime soon? And before we go any further, I want to tell you something. Or not everybody, however, the majority of people say, well, my house is an asset. Wrong! Unless that house puts any money in that pocket, it's not. It's a liability, okay? Unfortunately, here's the thing. We've got to have a place to stay. Okay, I don't care if you're sleeping underneath the bridge, you're renting a house, or you're buying one. Those three things, you got to do one of them. Okay, but unless that house is putting money in your pocket, don't ever tell yourself that it's an asset. It's a liability, because money will consistently go out. Unless you got any bit coming in, no. That ain't happening. Okay. Now, there's a tremendous amount of things that we can do to actually bring some money and turn that liability into an asset. You could actually, like, if you got a big yard, kind of somewhat rural or whatever, you could rent out part of your backyard if somebody needs to park a boat, an RV, big truck, or something of that nature. You could rent a room if you're in a position where, you know, you don't have anything to worry about and you've got a spare room. You could rent that out to somebody. You know, you can get really creative with it and everything. I know a lady that she actually took her house and she put a steel door on her bedroom, put a door, took out a window and put an exterior door going out, and the rest of the house, she does Airbnb, and she's just absolutely killing it. And people rent rooms from her on a monthly basis, long term. And so she's a house that would normally rent for about $1,500. I think she's turning it at about $2,800 a month, and she's still got a place to live. So that liability she turned into an asset. Okay. Big thing is, do you plan on moving anytime soon? Right now, the market is booming. It's real high. Do I think we're going to see a correction? Yes. Do I know when? No, I don't. But it's coming. I do believe that wholeheartedly. There's a number of factors. There's a lot of people that weren't getting paid, having to do with being a landlord with COVID, and you're going to see a market correction. Unfortunately, what always seems to happen is that for us to have a boom economy, we have to let loose and lower our standards on money practices, so to speak, in the sense that no matter if the country's doing good or if it's doing bad, please understand that the only thing that's changed is how much money people are putting in circulation, okay? And the Fed Reserve, and please study up on that, it's mind-blowing once you learn exactly how things work, but is that when you have doom and gloom and the media says, oh my God, you know, we're in a crash and everything like that, people tend to hold on to their money. Well, when that happens, the economy slows down because there's less money in circulation. What ends up happening is prices go up, inflation goes up, and everything costs more. But like right now, well, a year ago, we were having a really boom economy, and things are starting to slow down. okay? You got a lot that's going on with the new administration. They're talking about any transaction over $600 gets reported to the government, this, that, and everything like that. So people are like, let me put the brakes on here and everything. I'm not going to be doing as much as what I thought I was. So what does this have to do? A lot, okay? Because everything works together. Housing and construction in this country is about the last thing that we take from nothing almost and make into something, okay? Turn of the century, we were an industrialized country. We did a lot of manufacturing, okay? Some things happened and we're no longer those people. We import a bunch of stuff from other countries and then we put it together here and then we sell it, okay? However, with the housing industry, we grow the lumber here, we manufacture the sheetrock, the concrete comes from here. There's not a whole lot of product that's imported into the country to make a house, okay? We did have some sheetrock coming from China, but hey, we're not saying anything about that. Just do your research and everything. It's not good, okay? What seemed like a good deal a few years later said, So, but this is what I'm saying is that if you study any type of nation that has ever stayed on top, okay, and please consider that we're only about 300 years old as far as a country, you have to have a product that you basically get for free or close to free. You turn it around, refine it, do something to it, change it, and then you sell it at a profit, okay? It's very hard to do that in a service industry. So you have to have a tangible product. And that's the housing industry, okay? When the housing industry slows down, everything comes to a standstill pretty much, all right? That's what happened in '08, all right? We had a glut in the market, a bunch of houses out there, had huge amounts of inventory, and the country on average has to have 7 million new homes every year, okay? Right now, we're at about 3.8 to 4 million. So we have a deficit of 3 million homes right now. And then in my city, we got a lot of people moving here on a daily basis. So that affects it as well. Getting back to this, okay? How soon do you plan on moving? If you buy a house and you're going to go 2-3 years from now, it might be real good to buy. I'll tell you why, okay? Second thing, what is your age? My mom and I were talking a couple months ago. She was thinking about buying a place. I said, no, don't do that. She was like, why? I said, stay liquid as possible. You got a good thing going. You got a nice place where you live at. Any problems, you pick up the phone and they fix it within a few days. I said, why don't you want to continue with that? And she said, well, when you say it like that, and I said, you know, just think about it. I mean, the rent that she pays and for the place that she has, it's a phenomenal price, okay? There's no sense in her. She could not get anything close to what she wants that would have a payment the same, okay? It would be much higher, all right? So depending on where you're at in your age, as far as if you're in your early 20s or if you're in your 60s or 70s and you're buying a property, that's a big difference, okay? The other thing is, it costs money to be a homeowner. Air conditioners, generally speaking, 10 years. A roof in my town is 15 to 20 years. I'm going to close on a rental property today. I'm already figuring that I'm going to have to put $300 a month away for the roof. I figure that roof is going to be roughly about $7,500, and it probably has less than 2 years left on it. So I got to put $300 away. That's $7,200 in 2 years. That'll be pretty close to being able to pay for it. Other thing that I got to do is tell the people, hey, I got to go up on the rent. They have not had rent increase in 4 years. And so 5, whatever. That's redneck math right there. So, but again, I'm going to have to go up on the rent to cover the expenses on that piece of property. So we're going to have to make it happen. People don't ever think about that, okay? And I'll just give you an example is that house payment, $750, you rent it, it's $1,000. But guess what? You're having to put money away every month If you bought the place and only paid them $750, but you're going to have to put money away for the roof on top of that. You're going to have to put money away for maintenance on top of that. You're going to have to put money away on top of that for the air conditioner. So if you move into the place, and we'll just say like the payment, taxes, insurance, $750 a month, but you only got 3 years left on the roof and probably 2 years, and you're going to be replacing the AC. You know, you're probably looking at $250 to $400 a month that you're going to have to put away. And so if you don't have money on hand, you're going to be up the creek without a paddle having to do with that, you know. And everybody says, oh man, it's a great thing to own a piece of property. Okay, it's an expense that we all have. You've got to have living, okay? Unless you're homeless or you're sleeping out of a car, an RV or something of that nature, okay? That doesn't apply to you. And somebody's going to say, oh man, I got a camper, I ain't got that. Okay, great, thank you, okay? But this is for the other people out there, right? So look at your cost. Consider everything that it takes to be a homeowner, what you're going to be doing, and does that make sense for you? That I don't know. You need to answer those questions, okay? If you're not running the numbers for yourself, don't take other people's opinions, okay? Listen to what I have to say and then verify it. Don't accept it as being the gospel or anything of that nature, okay? Because I assure you of this, that if you lose everything that you've ever worked for, I'm still getting up tomorrow, God willing, and I'm going to go about my day, and I won't even think twice about that if you did something that I talked about and you lost everything. Okay, that's basically the very simple fact of it. You know, people talk about going to financial planners, and I'm not saying that they're bad, but please understand that if they tell you to do something and you lose everything, they still get up the very next day and go to work, okay? And I say all of this too, you are responsible for what goes on with you. You need to have a vested interest in your financial well-being. And if you don't, that's a very serious problem. Discipline is one of the greatest examples of self-love that a person can have. Wealth doesn't happen overnight. It's kind of like weight loss. It takes a long time, but little by little, every day, progress is made. It's Rental Robert with the Hustle Nation coming at you, figuring out who's productive and where's my money at. Might be in a house, might not. You make a call. Talk at you later.